Hello, can you hear me? Hello, welcome everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Checkity check 1 2. Yeah. All right, now I need to turn my Chrome audio off so I don't hear myself talking back to me the whole time. 1 sec. Here we go. All right. Welcome everybody. I'm Purz. Welcome to eclecticglitch.com. Yeah, cool. So yeah, we're just here to play with some AI stuff and see what we can do with it and see what I've been doing with it lately and maybe give you some ideas of where we can go with it and what you can do with it. The stuff you're looking at right now is a new thing called Model Scope Image to Video. And it's based on the sort of thing that Runway is doing with Gen 2, where you take a single frame and then animate a whole scene out of it from that one frame. So yeah, that all these animations after you see the single frame were just generated from that one frame. Super crazy. I mean, they're still obviously a little cheesy or, I don't know, lo-fi, but we're, first days here. Runway stuff is actually a lot cleaner and smoother, but they have a proprietary engine that they won't give us access to. But that's fine. They got to make money too. So yeah, we can do a bit of this stuff, but one of the main things I wanted to talk about was Comfy UI, which is the thing I've been using lately. Thank you so much. Basically, like Stable Diffusion normally would like you have to use automatic 1111, which is like very I don't know what the word is. Here, let me just pull up Comfy so we can see what I'm talking about. There we go. Here's some satanic stuff for us. All right. So basically, maybe I'll just start from the beginning. Stable Diffusion is the process of taking noise and turning it into images. So basically, we're taking noise, like just like glitchy, staticky noise, and we're turning it into images by just denoising it, running it through clip engines, and having the AI sort of try to make stuff out of the noise and make it a little cleaner with every pass. And that's, what's called with the steps and whatever. So you put in an image, or you put in a prompt, and then you put in the amount of steps, you put in the type of sampler, that's the type of denoising that it does, and then you get an image out the other end once it's all decoded. So what I've been doing lately with Stable Diffusion SDXL, which is the latest version of Stable Diffusion, is doing image-to-image stuff and control net with my own art. And that's where you use like your own images to drive sort of like what you're going to see on the page and stuff. It's really cool. So basically like you're using your own images, your own face, your own whatever as the building blocks to for the dream, so that it's a combination of sort of the computer and you. So it's a really cool way to like reuse a lot of the stuff that you wouldn't normally get to use, or just new ways of doing really fun stuff. But yeah, I'll show you an example. So let's start with an image to image. I'll just pull up one of my generative pieces. Okay, so we can use this as our base image, and then we can say like futuristic pod city floating up to the sky. Let's try, I like Carol Thole. Let's try him. SDXL has like a multi-prompt system, which is really cool. You can sort of layer your prompts. I don't really know how yet, so I've just been kind of doing this. And then you can add a style as well to the prompts, but I've just been using the prompt as the style. But like, yeah, so if you had a prompt and then you had a bunch of stuff after the prompt, like cinematic lighting, 8K, ArtStation, all that stuff, you can put that in the style and it'll sort of like add it to the end of the prompt, which is really cool. And then negative prompts. And yeah, so you run your thing. So we've got this as the image. We're going to change this over to image to image. I know this looks confusing, but it's just because everything's available all on one page. Whereas with the other stuff, you got to go in like 1,000 tabs to see everything. I can break all this stuff down if you guys are interested, but It's basically all just the settings that make the diffusion happen and all the different things you can do, like with upscaling and selecting different models and LoRa's, which are like ways of like guiding diffusion into new places. It's really cool. So let's just start with the basic thing. We're doing this image into this with this prompt, and we'll see what happens. And I think right now, it's going to break because I just noticed my denoise is at 0, which means it's just going to send the same image through. That's from an experiment I was doing earlier. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So let's change the denoise to 50%, and that's going to blur the image and make noise on top of it for the diffusion to happen on top of, because basically just right now what it did was it sent the image through just blank, like in and out, same image. I hope there's a way to... It'd be cool if I could show you the terminal window so you can see the progress bars. Let's see. Will this work? Oh, good stuff, OBS. Alright, we got the same results. So I must have broken something. All prompts. Unless it's not actually finished. No, it is. Cool. What did I break? Image to image. This was working earlier, I swear. That's really odd. Let me pull in one of my other images and reload the workflow. AI Comfy. The cool thing about Comfy UI is every image that you make with it, you can actually drag onto the back into the window and just rebuild your entire workflow. Actually, this workflow is more fun and more modular. So this is another thing we can do with Comfy, because everything is modular like this, like a big giant synthesizer basically. After we have the image made, we can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. So I built this little like glitch factory with all these different effects and stuff that you can add and then blend in and save at different points, and then have all this stuff to play with, which actually leads me to another workflow that's really fun if you're really into making collages. But I'll do this one first. So what was the prompt for this one? Oh yeah, we were doing Unreal Engine, Uncanny Valley, more person waving hello. All right, I'll run this one. This workflow is a lot simpler than that other one I was showing. That other one is a little more advanced. It's like one I just got from, I forget who made it. I'm so bad at that. There's so much of this stuff. It comes out constantly. Like every single day there's new stuff. All right. You can actually see the progress bars on the node that it's going through in the time. If you want, we can actually walk through this diffusion cycle, because this one's actually really simple. We have a base model and a refiner model, which is new with SDXL. Run through the base to generate the image, and then it runs it through the refiner to clean it up. And you only need a few steps on the end of the diffusion process into the refiner. So basically you run your first, your base one with more steps and your refiner with less steps. See, 35 steps. It runs for 50 steps, but at 35 steps, it switches over from the base to the refiner. We get the extra thing. You actually only really need about 20%, but I'm just messing around with settings right now. The sampler is the denoiser. You can try all these settings. They do different types of denoising. They result in different types of images. It's a lot of magic, so just play with stuff. It's easier to just get results and play with them than it is to try to chase something with AI, I find. If you're just happy with what you get and you build a world around it, it's a lot more fun to collaborate with the computer than to try to fight it to get exactly what you're trying to get. It's a tangent. So yeah, that's basically it. It runs the prompts through. I have a bunch of this stuff wired a little backwards so I can see it while I'm working, but basically the prompts go in first after the model is loaded, and then that's what conditions the noise to denoise into stuff. Yeah, so you type your prompts, you do your stuff, and things happen. And as you can see, we made this guy with a bunch of extra fingers, but that's fine. And here's my glitch factory, so this is kind of fun. We can cut the image up in a bunch of different places. We can add noise on top of it, and then add pixel sorting to the noise, and then blend it in a little further. And then I've got some other effects here, like a really harsh pixel sort that blended in nicely with the image, and then like a dithered version with that all done out. So you get all these options every time you make an image. You get all these options and places you can go with it. And then these are just all this stuff with various different blend modes, combining them. So you get, some options when you render out. Maybe I don't want all the contrast on this one. And then I just kind of have this final one that I like most of the time. That's just glitchy and fun and kind of gives me a chain. So like you could imagine you can just extend this stuff out and build chains that go on and on and on and on. And there's all these free plugins for it, for image processing and processing the stuff before it goes in and as it's done. And as you like this ASCII art, like you can do all kinds of fun stuff. Whatever people have made can be wrapped and brought into Comfy with relative ease. But this was the really fun thing I was talking about earlier. You can actually, there's a remove background node that you can use, and it'll give you these cutouts. So this is on a completely transparent background, so you can make collages out of these. You just save it, with a prefix or whatever, and then you have like this folder of images that they have no background, so you can just kind of place them into other images, or like then generate a bunch of backgrounds and make scenes out of them and stuff, or array them out in 3D software and do crazy stuff like that. Well, the sky's the limit. It's really fun. But yeah, I mean, Comfy UI is extremely powerful, but it's overwhelming to look at. But when you get into it, you're pretty much only sitting there typing prompts into this window here and then hitting Q prompt. And then after you have it set up, all this stuff just happens automatically. So, if you want to get deeper into AI and pushing, what it even means to use AI tools and even how they connect to each other, like you can interrupt the process and do weird stuff that you couldn't normally do with Automatic 1111. But yeah, it's probably more advanced than Automatic 1111, but it can be easier to use because you can just sit here, type in your thing, hit Q, type in your thing, hit Q, type in your thing, hit Q, then walk away and make a coffee and come back and see what you've made. It's all saved in the folder and you're good to go. So now that I've shown off the glitch stuff, which is cool, I'm going to go back to that crazy one. I'm going to see if I can get it to work because that is weird that it didn't work. Where are my workflows? It's cool. The workflow files they're not only saved in the PNGs, but they're also, you can save them as JSON files. So they're really easy to just keep track of and rename them and use whatever workflows you like. Then you can also group nodes, add those node groups to your like asset library thing, and then you can just drop them into any project. So like I have this whole glitch array here. It's in a node template here as glitch tools, and it'll literally just pull up a simpler version of this, but oops, I gotta delete all these manually now. But yeah, it's a more simplified version, but you can just drop it on any project and you just have, your nodes ready to go. I have a setup for doing clip vision, which is having the AI look at an image and then decide what the prompt is and then prompt that before it ever gets to human language. That's really fun. We can do a bit of that too. That's really trippy. And this one will actually combine two images. So it'll look at this one, it'll look at this one, and then it'll put the two weights, like the two prompts together as a weight and then prompt something new. And that's why that one's really cool too. I don't know why I keep adding these because I have to delete them. All right. So that's the glitch stuff. Let me load up the Comfy workflow. Where did I save my workflows? All right. Let's do the simple version of depth right now. Tourist taking a selfie at the Eiffel Tower. So this is something called ControlNet. Now, ControlNet is used to apply different masks to the image and then diffuse based on those masks. So for this one, for instance, it does a depth map. So it's going to do a depth map of this image, and then it's going to recreate an image using that depth map as the sort of space for the image to happen. So I've changed the prompt from, the prompt was tourist taking a selfie in front of the Eiffel Tower. Now it's portrait of a man wearing a tuxedo standing on a fjord. So let's see if it still works. It does work. I just have to connect the right one. Depth. Yeah. So you can see the depth map that it makes. Try that again. The first time you load something on a new workflow, it can take a while because it has to load the model, but after, subsequent times are much faster. So now this should try to make a portrait of a man wearing a tuxedo standing on a fjord based on this depth map and not really this image at all. Nailed it. All right, let's change the seed to 42069. Obviously, it's the best number there is. And we'll change the control to generate to randomize. Let's just do a batch of 4. Oh, we don't have a batch setup? I'm not going to set that up right now. I'm just going to hit this again. So yeah, you can just download these workflows, and then there's a manager for Comfy UI. You just load it up, and you can always hit install missing custom nodes, and it'll install anything that any of the workflows that you've brought on that turned red are missing. Yeah, he's wearing a tuxedo. He's standing on a fjord, but the Eiffel Tower is also there because it's in the depth of the image. So like you can imagine this can go pretty deep. Like if you start prompting things that aren't anywhere near what the image is, like brutalist architecture or something. Oh, these are great. So yeah, ControlNet's really powerful. It's really good for logos too. If you got a logo, you can drop that in and have it dream around the logo. This should be nonsense. Oh, wow. They're like little skateboards. Skateboards lined up on the wall. Cinematic lighting. Let's try that. But yeah, just imagine putting your own art or, anything else. Yeah, it should be saved on YouTube. I think it's running still, hopefully. Oh, cool. Made little skateboards out of my image. I mean, that's what I asked it to do, but it's still cool that it happened. These are outputs from a generative art project I worked on last year, the year before, called Labyrinths. These are generated with code p5.js. Oh, that's really sick. Should we turn Elon Musk into skateboards? I think so. All right. Nice. Okay. Just turned him into Tony Hawk. Could try a different control net. So yeah, the different control nets do different things. Like this one does depth. There's one that does outlines, which is called Canny. Hey, there he is, Elon Hawk, looking good. So let's try Canny. Canny. Do I need to tell it Canny or I just do it? Oh no, I gotta use the other. Okay, let's do Pro Skater. Yeah, let's grab the other workflow. Flows. Where are you? Workflows. Canny depth. Here's Canny. Drop our boy on there. I have too many windows open. My brain is exploding. Okay, there we go. There we go. So you're set to Canny threshold. So this should be, yeah, it'll make like oops. Canny rank. There we go. Yeah, so this one does like tries to figure out where the outlines are, and then it'll draw something with that structure if it can. That other workflow that I was using had all these all along the bottom. That's why it was so like there's so many windows, because they had places you could drop these to run multiple control nets on top of each other. So these are just the ones that just sort of show off how control net works with SDXL, but I'll show you the other one when we're done here. Recolor is actually pretty cool. You can take a black and white photo from the past. Where are we? Black and white photo. Let's see what it does with... Oh, this might be interesting. Recolor. You just select the one with the same name. Recolor based. So this one should try to recolor it like, old-timey color recoloring. I implore you to play your own music underneath me. Normally I have stuff on the background. I just don't want to... Ooh, the person is green. They have violet ring around their eye, and the iris is piss yellow. I love it. Nailed it. Let's see. Wonder why. Let's try our favorite value. Maybe it's better at like faces or something. Kind of made a Frankenstein eye. Okay, that's worse. We'll just try like a human face. I had it working pretty good. I had found some old pictures from like the 1890s or something. I mean, that's pretty good. Went a little 80s, but I like it. That's pretty crazy from a black and white image. All right, and the other one is Sketch. Sketch is cool. Yeah. Can I? Oh, Sketch. I have to actually load the image for Sketch. They don't have a thing for it. So basically, the way Sketch works is you can draw on it, but they don't have the node set up to do the drawing. But basically, you can like, yeah, yeah. This would be it normally, I think. So yeah, maybe it'll work if you just run it the. But yeah, but it'll draw based on a sketch. So you can have a white surface and then draw on black, and then if you draw, it'll dream whatever you drew. So it's like you can draw like little figures and stuff, and then tell it like you want it like graffiti on concrete. Imagine I drew that. I'm a really good drawer. I'm not a really good drawer. So Sketch should try to look at this and then try to turn it into graffiti on concrete based on the threshold, the black and white. It's a little more fun in automatic 1111 actually, because you can just sit there and draw with your mouse. So you can like just doodle and then turn it into really cool looking spray paint graffiti. This did not work at all. Awesome. All right. Let's go back to the crazy workflow. Where are you? Comfy UI. So those are the more simple workflows, and then there's the one that I was using earlier just ties them all together. So that's custom nodes, and it's by, I want to say Serge SDXL? Yes. Okay, so this one is insanely overwhelming because they've done all the stuff, but they've put it into like logic groups down here. So it's sort of like an entire program that's running just in these nodes. And everything you need to do is actually only just these toggles here do everything. And then they've actually done all the stuff where all the logic happens at way outside of the threshold where you ever have to pay attention to it. So it seems scary, but you never have to touch any of this stuff if you don't want to. This stuff's all routing. So if we go back to the main chunk of the window, this is scary too, but it's just because all the settings are in one place. And if you don't like this 5-stage prompting system, because sometimes it's a little much, you can actually change it right here with the prompting mode. You change it from default all prompts to just main and negative only, and that'll do the regular main prompt and negative prompt. So let's see if it's still broken. I'll grab one of those images that we tried earlier. If I can find the window in my mess of a desktop. Sketch stuff. There it is. It's in the stuff folder. Let's do, this one should be simple. So we're going to try labyrinth puzzle. We don't have to worry about the secondary prompt because we're not using it. We're just going to change this to prompt so we remember that's the syntax. For negative prompt, I'm going to put NSFW and nude because we are on YouTube. And negative secondary prompt and style is actually not used for this because we disabled it, so who cares? I'm going to run through these real fast. The seed is the beginning value that it uses to generate the noise that it makes when it does its thing. Increment, this is just every time it makes a new image, it's going to go jump 1 seed. You can change that from increment to fixed, decrement, and randomize. And randomize will obviously just randomize it. So the seeds are sort of like the place in latent space where it starts. So if you use the same seed with all the same settings, you should get the same image, but guidance can have a impact on that. So it can work, but it sometimes doesn't. They have a really cool image size preset system with all the aspect ratios that you'd want. Stable Diffusion XL works best at 1024 by 1024, 1 by 1 square images, but it is trained on everything and it's like pretty good at everything else. So unlike the old versions, you don't have to stick to a square anymore. It's really cool. But I would stick to these recommended resolutions. Yeah. Steps, the image height and width is selected here, obviously. The steps is how many times it goes through the denoising process to get the end result. So more steps means a better image up to a point, and then you get diminishing returns from that. The CFG scale, this is how hard it tries to nail the prompt that you gave it. So if this value is actually really low on this one for some reason, I'm not sure why. Might have to do with the way the conditioning parameters are set. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to set this back to 7. 7's sort of the default, 6 or 7. If you go up to 15, it'll just try to like do like exactly what you said on the prompt, but it also gets like a deep fried look the higher you go. So you just play with it. Try different CFG scales with your prompts, because sometimes it's not the prompt, it's the promptiness. Does that make sense? Promptiness. Yeah, promptiness. All right, sampler preset. These are just the sampler presets they find to work the best for this workflow. So it's pretty easy. Just choose one of these. Try different ones. Changing the sampler preset will change all this stuff because that's what the sampler is. You can actually read into what all these different samplers do and how they do them and the math behind it, but I am too stupid for all of that, so I'm just trying to feel my way through it. Base versus refiner ratio is how many steps it does when I was talking about the base model versus the refiner model. The base, it'll go up to 80% and then switch over to the refiner model, bang that other 20% off to get over the line. We're going to switch this to image because we're trying to do this image to image source. Denoise at 5, impedance mask blur at 8, sure. A lot of this stuff I don't touch. This one's cool because you can actually enable a thing that'll drop a text file every time you make an image, so you have your whole workflow in a text file. It's good. You can just look at it and see what you need to see. What else? And then yeah, it has like a high res mode, so like it'll do a upscale or an upres if you turn it on. I think it's on right now for this workflow, so it's gonna make the image. We'll see what it does here. Should make the image and then upscale it, and then it should make an image, then it should make a high resolution version of that image by doing latent latent upscaling, where it's instead of just stretching out the pixels and trying to figure out which ones look good, it actually redreams on the image at the higher resolution. So it's sort of like how the Midjourney upscaling works, where like it actually dreams new detail into the image, whereas regular upscaling, which it does later in this upscaled preview section here, that's more of like a bend and stretch type situation where they just scale it up and then clean it up, whereas this actually literally scales it up and then redreams in latent space. Have I broken something? Let's see. No, it's doing stuff. Things are happening. So our preview image came out basically the same as our input image. Maybe my denoising settings are too silly, so I can try. I think we have to wait for this upscaling to finish. I guess get interrupted. Screw it. Let's find out why it's not. Let's denoise at 85%. Yeah, 85%. See what it do. Oh, and I'm going to turn high res mode off to save time for now because we're just iterating, and that will just do the first stage here where we get our preview. Yeah, this workflow is called Sarge SDXL Reborn. There he is. I'll drop that in the chat. Okay. Hey, okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So you can see it's using this as the input image, and then it's making this dream, which is really cool. So yeah, now we can start pushing this. So I guess over 50% is the move. Let's try 90%. So it's just going to make more noise over the image for it to dream on. I just didn't have the ratio right. So the prompt is actually really simple. I just have labyrinth puzzle as the prompt. You can spice that up. Absolutely. I wonder if I can get a little terminal window up. I gotta be a way. There must. Oh, that's really sick. All right, so this is literally just looking at the image and then denoising on top of it. So that's one way to do image to image. But as we know, we also have access to ControlNet. And the really cool thing about This is, we have access to multiple control nets. We can just stack them on top of each other. So let's go. We're going to just do text to image. So that's just going to bypass this one. And then we're going to add a couple images to the SDXL control net nodes at the bottom. So let's go to stuff, labyrinth. Let's try this one again. So we'll do this for our first and our second. So we're going to stack two control nets. We're going to stack depth and canny. Depth and canny. So the strength is how much it tries to do how much it tries to stick to the control net. So you can, play with those as well when you're doing your iterations to figure out if you like it or not. Scans, rescales, all that is right. I can't remember if you have to enable control net, but we'll see. It should do the, yep, awesome. That worked first try. So we did our depth map, we did our canny map, and now it's going to use the depth map and the canny map to try to generate a new image. See what we get. And again, you can imagine this is super cool for your logos or text. You just type your name and then dream on it. I was making like Purz sushi and stuff. It's great. I think the prompt is still labyrinth puzzles, so this should be interesting. Yeah, sorry you guys can't see the progress bar. I know it's annoying to just think the stream stopped every 2 seconds. Whenever I share the window, though, it just comes up blank. Don't know why. Oh, cool. I really like that. So I don't think it's doing the image-to-image inpainting, so I don't think adjusting that actually matters because it's doing a text-to-image with these as the control input. That's really cool. Now I'm going to turn on the high-res mode because I want to see what this looks like upscaled. We're going to increment, so we'll get a new seed. Hopefully we'll get a new thing. I really like the way that looks. That's super cool. And as you can imagine, you can just drop your glitch stuff on the end of it and build out whatever workflows you want, put text over the images, go crazy. SDXL in Comfy is super fun. I will say it does take more than 8 gigs of RAM though. You need like maybe 12 gigs of VRAM to make it happen. Otherwise it gets kind of crashy. I was having trouble with 8. It will work with 8 on Comfy UI, but that's the hard limit. But you can also load this stuff up on Google Colabs and Kaggle. Kaggle gives you 30 or 40 hours of GPU time every week you can make images with. Oh, that's cool. It's got like a cut wood interface, cut wood texture. So it should be doing its upscaling now. This one will be slower. I'm going to try to get that window up while we're talking here. Let's see. Yeah, that's slow. All right, we'll let that go. Hopefully. VS. I think it's doing stuff. It's hard to tell. Oh, there it goes. Oh, wow. That's a huge difference. That's great. Great detail. Pretty exciting. I think this last step should be faster. Try. Did you crash? Maybe that's it. I guess it's done. All right, I thought I was gonna spit this part out, but maybe not. That's awesome. So that's control net. Thing. Remove background. What else do we want to cover? Image to image and painting. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to chew on. Get out there and play with it. I don't know what to say. Have fun. We can just make crazy stuff for a while. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's do some of the image generation from that the single frames. That stuff is crazy. Load up model scope, and I will switch over to the window as soon as it comes up. It's taking longer to load up than I thought. Let me show the window. Window capture, Pinocchio. Here it is. Okay, it's up. Oops. Sorry, I hit the wrong button 4 times. Okay, here we go. Comfy. Gradio. That's you. So this is the same interface as the Hugging Face one, except this one is sorry, let me switch that back over. I think I swapped the wrong window out. Yes. Where did you go? There you are. Okay. So you basically just drop a frame. Let's do Shaggy and Scooby. And it takes about 60 seconds, and then it spits you out an entire scene, like a movie, basically. Good to go. Oh, here, I'll show a video. You'll see new source, and it will be videos. Apologize for loud if it starts loud. Sorry about that. Maybe there's a place I can put this that makes sense. There we go. Over here. Oh, that's the same. There we go. Someday I'll figure this streaming thing out. Oh, jeez. Let's save that. Run that one again. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, if you guys have a clip or a scene you want to see from a movie, let me know. Cooking myself in here. Oh, what happened? Did my screen? Oh no, we're good to go. Yeah, I am cooking. Yeah, this might be too heavy for streaming, actually. It's so delightfully disturbing. Does anybody have any... Oh, you want to see Freddy Krueger? Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Get our crew gone. Yeah, I think that kills my stream. LOL. I have no idea how much VRAM this takes, but it seems like a lot. We staying connected this time? Let's hope so. No, it doesn't look like it. Spin that one again. You can currently use this on Hugging Face right now for free. You can get a couple spins on it anyway. Where is it? Hugging Face model scope. Yeah, I need more VRAM. Yeah, you can play with it there. Just drop a frame and hit submit. Depending how busy Hugging Face is, it might not. It might not work. It got hugged to death yesterday, basically. Does anybody have any questions or any problems or anything they're trying to get going with Stable Diffusion or anything? Just type it and I'll try and cover it. I just see it as something we can use to amplify our creative voices that we already have, you know. Not as a replacement, but as a augmentation. These are great. All right. This was giving me great ones earlier. Yeah, the best one by far is Topaz, but it's also the most expensive one by far. Stabilization, I'm not super sure about open source solutions, but interpolation, Rife and Film are both free. You can use them locally or on Google Collabs and stuff. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like Film better than Rife. Yeah, this is running locally. Is my stream breaking up when it gets busy? Yeah. Amazing. One sec, let me get are you on a Mac, right? I think I'm pretty sure the Rife and Film are PC only. The only Mac solution I know about is Topaz. You can use them in Automatic 1111 in Windows. And there's a few apps as well. Oh, you're on PC? Okay, then there's so you can use it in Automatic 1111 in the Deforum tab. If you go to Output, there's like a whole bunch of stuff for frame interpolation. That's where you use Rife and Film. And there's also upscaling in Deforum, which is really cool. Works really well, actually. It's fast, too. Topaz looks better, but Deforum is faster and freer. So yeah, that's in the Deforum in Automatic 1111. Otherwise, there's what is that program called? I don't remember. There's one called Film Windows. No, not a toaster. Temporal kit. That sounds familiar. Yeah, you can use this. I think there's a better one that's like got a GUI around it. I just can't remember what it's called. Gee, the hills are alive with something. Should probably kill it. Streaming just makes me realize I need 13 monitors, at least. Nice. Oh, this could be a risky click. We'll try it out anyway. Alright. That's sufficiently creepy. Hellraiser! Oh, now I'm gonna get demonetized. Video capture. Huh. Yeah, when I'm not streaming, it takes about 62 seconds to do one, but when I am streaming, it takes about 98 seconds. Food for thought. Weird, useless thoughts, but thoughts nonetheless. Whoa, crazy. I think I'm gonna get off the Hellraiser train before I make something truly effed up. What? Never not, doggo. Let's get you bigger. I hope you guys are bobbing onto your own music and you're not just sitting there in silence. That would make me sad. What do we think? Puppy or monster? Puppy or monster? I'm thinking monster. Puppy! Good job! I was definitely expecting monster. Let's spin the wheel again, see if we get a puppy or a monster. I like puppy or monster, it's a fun game. It's really fun to watch these progress cars go by. I wish I could time lapse them in real time. Anybody got a time machine? Hey, we got another puppy. Way to go. I was definitely expecting monsters. Will monkey be monster or will monkey be monkey? I hope I remember to save that doggo. Oh, that's another thing. If you're using this thing, make sure you save the image in the corner. They're like lost forever if you don't save it. Sucks. I need to figure out how to run like the script version of this so that I can just write a couple scripts or a GUI or something. This is cool, but kind of annoying to use in that way. That monkey is unhinged. His mouth is so big. Friggin' eyes. Oh, love it. Nailed it. I mean, like, I think this stuff's ready for prime time. Hollywood killer. Like, You could just park kids in front of this and it would be fine. Yeah. I don't even know why the industry tries anymore. It's really fun to use your own stable diffusion images that you made. Oh yeah, kids. I mean, I think AI cartoons are like probably even sooner than that. A couple years maybe. All you got to be able to do is just generate like 24 frames a second. And they can tailor it to every kid's personality. Ugh. Get in there really early and program them on to do all kinds of things. Yeah. I believe the prompt for this one was big noxious green fart cloud. I like to keep it very professional. Ooh, how meta would it be to run it on my own cringe thumbnail for this YouTube stream? Pretty meta. Pretty cringe, too. The bifecta. Oh, wow. This one's great. Jeez. That's going to look awesome interpolated. That's awesome. Did I save it? I'm gonna run that one again. That's great. As you can see, this is a pretty deep rabbit hole. Just do this for hours and hours till my room gets too hot. Cool. Super cool. Super cool. I just want that one to go on forever. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to try this one. Huh? Huh? Uh. Just threw up a bunch of new videos into the stream, so there's some text to video stuff, like straight prompts straight into video, like this basketball one. Some deforum stuff, text to animation. Pika Labs, that's text to video, different model. This lion looks tired. He's not doing anything. He's barely moving. I'll stop that. This is model scope. This is the same engine model that we're using for the these image to video things, but like I don't know how it's different. It's just different. I don't know if it's a different train or different. That's model scope image to video. Same ones we've been watching. Looks friendly. Head's a little big, but it does get smaller towards the end of the clip, so that's cool. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do it. Oh, I should have done the green eye we did. That's a deforum video there. I think that is just text to prompt. Yeah, it's just a prompt and some camera moves. Oh, that's crazy looking. It's not human, but it's crazy looking. Thanks for coming, bud. Really appreciate it. I'll probably wind this down after a couple more generations. It's been really fun. Hopefully you guys got some ideas, some fun stuff to play with. Remixing and sampling your own stuff is super fun. Sometimes we make, all these image generations and don't do anything with them. It's cool to have a way to reuse stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. It took the texture from my input image and really did some cool stuff with it. That is really cool. I'm going to run that one more time. I wasn't sure what it would do with that because it's very abstract. Next one will probably be goo. Oh yeah, I was gonna try this. If you want to try it out, there's a free version available on Hugging Face. It is right. No, that's not it. It is. You can play with it here, and then if you want to install it, if you have an NVIDIA GPU, like I think something with at least 12, I want to say, gigs of VRAM. It might work on 8. I don't know. There's a setup for it by. Oh, I'm forgetting his name again. Cocktail Peanut. And instructions are. He made a little one-click installer with an app called Pinocchio that'll basically go do all the annoying Python crap, build the environment on your computer, and then you can just run the software in a web browser. Like, save you the trouble of hunting dependencies and doing all that annoying Python stuff. Oh, these are cool. All right, let's try this one, and I think I'll probably cut the stream after this one. I am curious what my meta YouTube thumbnail does, considering I made the background image with this. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's really exciting. You just drop one frame in and off to the races. I mean, it makes a lot of deranged, crazy, psychotic stuff, but I mean, that's like my favorite AI stuff, so I'm good. And I mean, I can't even imagine where we're going to be in a year. Oh my god. Perfect. Perfection. What more could I ask for? And on that note, thank you everybody for coming out. This was super duper fun. I'll be back at this again soon. Have a great one. Thanks for hanging out. Love you all. Bye bye.